Welcome to episode 19 of the Take Two podcast, where we care about real journalism. Today, we comment on the New York Times top 100 movies of the century so far. Let's go.
And we're back, ready to go. We are so excited. The New York Times just dropped their top 100 movies so far of this century, as voted for by actors, directors, and writers, I believe. Was that the
Correct.
holy trinity to those people in
I think there's
Hollywood?
probably some. I think it's just like general people who work in Hollywood. I think that maybe some producers were involved as well. Like, it's a list aggregate made by Hollywood people.
Yes, by the people we all look up to, by the people we adore, by the people with which, if they did not exist, neither would this podcast.
So true.
We
rely very heavily on those people.
Yes, we rely heavily on them, but we are also perhaps here to praise and criticize their picks on this list, because this list is all over the place, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think before we start, I think it's like a fair thing to say that like I do think that they gave it the good old college try and trying to get people's opinions for the right thing. But the tricky thing is when you're rating 100 movies and you're going about it just kind of based off of like they did have some pretty good criteria, I think, built into it. We won't need to go into the weeds on that, but asking all of these people what they think their top 100 movies are is kind of like it's just really fraught with issues. Some of it's going to be really performative, like, oh my gosh, like we think that we need this movie on here. Other people will be very like, okay, they'll be a little more strategic in terms of like, okay, I need to make sure I have like a Werner Herzog movie on here.
Right.
And I need
They have to
make
put
sure I have like a Christopher Nolan movie. And
there's a
Noah
level
Baumbach
of
movie.
pretentiousness and pretentious thought that goes into something like this, where you're like, ooh, I don't have a Lars von Trier movie on here. Yes, I must put a Lars von Trier movie on here, even though all of his movies are very long and boring and artsy. Like, I have to have one on there.
Yeah. And other people would be like, oh, I'm too good for this list because all I care about is Sidney Lumet movies.
Yes.
So.
So, all right. So let's start. We're going to go through the list. We're going to talk, are some of these movies too high? Are they too low? Do they not belong? And perhaps as we look at some of these movies, are there other movies in the category or similar that we feel are missing? So we're just going to be off the cuff and have some fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we're going to start off with number 100, Superbad. Thoughts on Superbad? Yeah. We're going to go rapid fire. Kenny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Superbad, directed by Greg Mottola, has a great cast. It is funny. We just actually recently talked about Superbad on the Romcon podcast. It's really hard to tell. Like, to do 100 movies again is hard. This one is like, it's a worthy comedy. I do think there are other comedies. As we go down through the list, though, we'll realize that actually the comedy category, as well as a few other categories, are actually kind of slim. But, I mean, number 100, don't want to judge too hard yet.
Yeah, Superbad's like top 10 comedy for me all time. Like, I think it's probably top 10 for most people. It's so funny. So I'm glad it's on the list. I'll say that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Number 99, we have Memories of Murder, which we both love.
Yeah. This movie is far too low. I take offense to here, and we're gonna run into Bong Joon-ho quite a few times, I think, on the list.
This is the funny thing about Kenny. Kenny's gonna say Memories of Murder far too low. But also, where's Mickey 17 on the list? Because that's Kenny's favorite Bong Joon-ho movie is Mickey 17.
Yeah. I've sat with that a little bit longer and would be okay with revising my statement of the earlier podcast.
Lauren has watched the first half now of Mickey 17, and she hasn't finished it, but she's like, this is kind of weird. She's like, she's also seen most of the other Bong Joon-ho movies. She's like, Kenny said this was his favorite Bong Joon-ho movie, and I'm always like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I've sat on that for a little bit longer, and since I watched Mickey 17, I have thought 10 times more about Memories of Murder.
Memories of Murder is so good.
Yeah. I take issue with how low this is because I think that this is like a top two. I truly think this is a top two Bong Joon-ho movie, which means putting it at 99, I'm like, that feels low. But I think it's also a movie that not a lot of people have seen because it's in Korean.
True. Very, very true. So Memories of Murder, if you haven't seen it, great. Grizzly Man, I haven't seen that. I don't know what it is. Kenny, thoughts?
I've never seen it. Directed by Werner Herzog, so maybe people are like, well, we got to get some Herzog in here, but I've never heard of it or seen
Okay.
it.
Pass. Gravity by Alfonso Cuarón. Alfonso Cuarón. Gravity to me is the most overrated space movie I've ever seen. I was so
your favorite actress of all time.
That's right, Sandra Bullock
is in this movie. She stars in this movie.
Oh, such incredible acting by her. Just in her suit the entire time. Such great facial emotions.
It's a less interesting version of Interstellar in a lot of senses.
The worst version of Interstellar. And they came out right near each other, and I couldn't believe how much love and praise Gravity got. I watched Gravity, they were like, oh, it's a spectacle. I'm like, did you see Interstellar?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Or like I can never remember which Apollo movie has Tom Hanks in it where they're
Apollo
like
13?
Is that 13?
Yeah.
Like this is a worse version of Apollo 13 as well. I took a buddy who had recently gotten a football concussion to this movie, and we saw it in like 3D and IMAX. And that's my memory of this movie is me walking away feeling like I want to throw up, let alone how he might feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I'm actually really glad you feel that way because I always felt alone in my despise for how overrated Gravity was. So it's good to hear that.
I don't find it as offensive, I think, as you do. I just don't think it's a top 100 movie of
the
century.
I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just was shocked at the level of like Academy Awards and everything it got. I was like, whoa. It was kind of like Sinners to me, where I saw it and I was like, let's pump the brakes for a second here.
Right. Next movie, Ryan Coogler's Black Panther. This kind of sets the tone also for what we're going to be seeing through the rest of the
superhero movies.
Yeah, it's like this is not a list that plays to the people. These aren't the people's champs movies. Black Panther is great. I think that Black Panther belongs to be on here. You know what? 95,
96.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Number 95. I have not seen this movie. The Worst Person in the World. Okay. Pass on that. Okay. I was shocked on this one, Kenny. I was honestly. Yeah. Number 94 is Minority Report with Tom Cruise. I like Minority Report, but like
great.
Top 100 is pretty wild to me. Like top 100 movies of the century, Minority Report. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. I really like Minority Report too, but I was just a little shocked by that.
No, I think that it's also, again, it's one of those things of like, you got to have some Spielberg movies in here. It's not the last one that we'll come across. I think Minority Report is sick.
I like it too. Cool. I think it is sick.
It's like, you know, based off of some like great source material, good movie. I'm actually totally happy with this being in
Tom
here.
Tom Cruise in his prime.
I think this is, Tom Cruise definitely in his
not
prime.
That he's never not in his
people
prime.
Swim. Yeah, you got some prophets who swim in milk in this movie called Precogs. It's a good movie.
I really like it. I really like it. I watched it like 2 years ago.
Not a movie I think about though very often.
No, I don't think about it, and that's all I'm saying. I'm shocked it's on this list. Number 93, Michael Clayton. With
directed by Tony Gilroy and George Clooney?
George Clooney and Tilda Swinton, I believe, won Best Actress, Supporting Actress for this, which was alarming to me because she had like 5 minutes in the movie, and I didn't think she did anything crazy, even though I love Tilda Swinton. I liked Michael Clayton. I'm a little shocked it's on this list. Maybe it's on this list because it was the message of the movie was like, I believe, exposing like a drug company to an extent, and like the fraud and sort of like the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, big pharma. So I think this is sort of like a Hollywood, like, ooh, that's why but I thought Michael Clayton was pretty good. I never think about it. I'm shocked it's on the top 100.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to probably see, and I haven't even looked through all this list. Some of these we're going to go in hot on, but you know, the whole sticking it to the man genre, it's like, okay, if Michael Clayton is on here and, you know, as long as Aaron Brockovich is later down the list, Sure. Or Traffic later down the list, sure. But we'll see. So
Okay.
next movie, 2000, Sir Ridley Scott, Gladiator.
Number
This movie is way
92.
too, dude,
Number
way too
92.
low.
This
This
is
movie is
like,
way too low.
yeah, this movie is like like you want to talk about people's champ movie? Like everyone I've ever met who, if the word gladiator comes up, a guy will come bursting out of a door somewhere and be like, I effing love Gladiator. Like if I'm at a party, if I'm at a dinner, anything, if that word gets mentioned, some dude somewhere comes through in that party. He's like, you guys talking about Gladiator? I love Gladiator.
I literally have a double feature DVD downstairs in my theater room that is a double feature of Gladiator and Braveheart, and I just call it my dude
I love
DVD because I mean this movie is about dudes rocking. There's no doubt. This movie is just way too low. Like the thing that this list also doesn't do super well is like account for how iconic something is, and like it almost doesn't get more iconic than Gladiator.
That is very true. Number 91, Fish Tank. I've never heard of it.
Never even heard of it.
Get off the list. Get off the list.
Yeah.
Number 90, Frances Ha. I have not seen.
Frances Ha is great. Frances Ha is a Noah Baumbach film of Marriage Story fame, and his at the time wife Greta Gerwig, who we now know as the director of Barbie and Little Women and Lady Bird. It's a good movie. I think this movie does actually deserve to be on here. It's like not as well appreciated. I think that you're crossing Noah Baumbach off your list here, and I think that putting it at my list doesn't actually have him numbered. What number is it at?
90.
89?
90.
90. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. I'm actually very comfortable with that space.
Okay, 89. Number 89 is Interstellar. So Interstellar, for me, is I rewatched it this past year. I probably watched it 4 or 5 months ago, and I think Interstellar is actually, I know I might get skewered for this, I think it's actually one of Christopher Nolan's more overrated films, even though I still really like it. There's some messaging in it I personally don't agree with, as I've watched through it, I believe 3 times now. It's, you know, I don't want to get too deep into it, but there's a lot of like subtext and subtle underline in the film that I don't necessarily agree with. But all that being said, it's a fantastic movie that plays like is classic Chris Nolan, playing with time, Chris Nolan in space. Like I could go for a sequel of this movie. I still think it's really, really awesome.
And the score is incredible. This movie was actually my introduction to Timothée Chalamet, who plays Matthew McConaughey's son, and so who then becomes Casey Affleck, which that's
right. That tracks. Yeah. So Interstellar, I mean, it deserves to be on there, I think. So, do you know this one, The Gleaners and I?
No.
Get off the list. And like some foreign, I don't know what. Get off the list. Number 87, The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring.
Too low. Again, same thing with Gladiator. This is too low. The one thing, I think we can spoil it here because I think that I didn't see any other Lord of the Rings movie on this list.
No, there's the other 2 are on here.
Okay, the other 2 are on here. Okay. I guess I'm comfortable with that then. Like, I think that my ranking is Two Towers, Fellowship of the Ring, then Return of the King. Like that, and I mean, I adore all those movies. Like, they're all 10 out of 10s for me.
I mix and match them frequently. I can never settle on one. I think they all do different things the best. Like I think, and I think we need to have a whole nother day of Lord of the Rings. So,
we'll have a whole mini pod. I just finished actually recently watching the.
Can you stop moving your mic around
the animated so much? Lord of the Rings movies? Yeah, it's crazy. This movie's too low. Like all the Lord of the Rings movies are top 50. I just feel like
I agree.
It's too low. Anchorman, Legend of Ron Burgundy, Adam McKay.
But you skipped Past Lives. 86. What? I don't know what that is. We're skipping that one.
Past Lives is Celine Song's previous movie before she did Materialists. The movie
interesting.
I forgot about.
Kenny, stop.
So
Kenny, stop moving your microphone around so much.
Sorry.
It's going.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Okay, sorry. 80. Okay, sorry. Did you want to say something about past lives? Should it be on here?
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. Pass. Number 85, Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. What are your immediate thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it hits the like iconic, quotable. Getting Adam McKay on the list is worthwhile. Is this? I don't think. I'm trying to think if it's any of those actors like Apex Mountain, if it's any of their best. It's really funny. It's great. I think it deserves to be on the list.
I think it's really funny. I think I've never been as in love with it as other people have been, but I do still find it really funny. But it's also like, it's also Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell can like, depending on the day, he can either like annoy me or crack me up. So I would swap this with Superbad. If I were doing a super quick list, I'd be like, you're right, Anchorman's more iconic, but Superbad's like
Yeah,
a better movie. Number 84, Melancholia by Lars von Trier. I have seen this. Have you seen it?
I've not.
Crazy long, super artsy, extremely depressing if you can't tell by the title, and just sort of like really nihilistic, and that's how kind of a lot of his movies are, and I really hated it and really tortured myself through it. But it's really artsy, and I can see why people in Hollywood would put it on the list.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
The White Ribbon. Have you seen that?
No.
Pass, get off our list. Far From Heaven. Have you seen that?
No.
No, pass, get off our list. 81 Training Day with my boy Denzel Washington. Training Day is awesome. Denzel is a freaking like Denzel Washington is like a steam train in this movie. He's become like a meme from this movie because he's so iconic in it. So I'm a little shocked Training Day is maybe on here. Like, it's weird for me seeing Training Day above like Fellowship of the Ring. That kind of bothers me, like just visually. But
Right.
it's a really good iconic movie. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
Okay, it's awesome. Hidden. I don't know that one.
Dude, I'm not looking at the same list you are.
Okay.
Because I had Past Lives, then Anchorman.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen Hidden.
Haven't seen him. 79 is Slumdog Millionaire. Thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a great movie. There's nothing else that I can really think of that's anything like it. I think it's really good.
I think it's great.
I feel like it's probably low.
It
feels low, but like there's been a lot of great movies this year. I feel like I'm comfortable with where that's at.
I think it's great. I've only seen it once, but I loved it. I know the director or writer, I think it was the director, like recently came out and like sort of like self-criticized, crucified himself, and he was like, oh, I would change a bunch of stuff because of all the racial stuff. And I was like, all right, dude, like you made a great movie, just let it be. Number 78, Kenny, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, your favorite Lord of the Rings film.
Yeah. It's good. I think that again, all of them should be in the top 50.
Okay. Obviously, I love Two Towers. I think it has the best battle scene of the three films. Helm's Deep. Yeah. Like, Helm's Deep. If you turn on Helm's Deep for me, like anywhere, if it's within 100 yards and I catch the corner of my eye, I'm just there for an hour. I'm locked in.
Send me to Buffalo Wild Wings and turn on the extended edition of Two Towers, and I'm there. I'll be there all 4 hours. It's easy.
I'm going to be needing 2 wings of every flavor every minute, and I want them going up in heat until the very ending when they break through the gates and Gandalf comes down that hill.
Yeah, I'll be breathing fire by the end of this.
Yeah. Not to be outdone, The Two Towers by number 77, Finding Nemo.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Pixar deserves to be on this list. I think that Finding Nemo is great. I think that Pixar deserves to be on this list. I think that Finding Nemo is great. I think that Pixar deserves to be on this list. I think that Finding Nemo is great. I think that Finding Nemo is great. I think that Pixar deserves to be on this list. I think that Finding Nemo is great. I think that Finding Nemo is great. I think that it's not better than Two Towers. Again, it's where this list it's where it gets so difficult. Of
It's
like, how do
tough.
you even compare some of these
Right.
movies to
It's
where
tough to swallow.
Finding Nemo and Two Towers have nothing in common? So it's
No.
like, okay, yeah, it's a little arbitrary.
Speaking of tough to swallow, number 76, Call Me By Your Name, a young gay romance. I avoided it because that's just who I am. But I have
Yeah,
heard from friends that are gay that they say it's really good.
yeah,
So for if you're looking for that, there it is.
yeah. I've
Um,
also not seen it. Isn't this the movie that like after it came out, Arnie Hammer made some like kind of comments that made everyone think that he was a cannibal? Do you remember
yeah,
this?
yeah, I think so. And this was also
That's what I
Timothée
remember this
Chalamet, which
movie
was
for.
interesting as well.
Yeah,
Um, number 75, never heard of it. Timbuktu, never heard of it.
haven't seen it.
Okay, number 74, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you seen this film?
I have. It is wonderful. I do think it belongs on the list. It probably is maybe. Oh man, it's tough. Is it again that movie? If you haven't seen it, it's so heady and psychedelic that it's kind of hard to compare to anything else I've ever seen. I personally love the Daniels, the directors of this movie. They directed probably my all-time favorite movie called Swiss Army Man. This is another just it's a great movie. I love it. It's just so hard to compare it to anything else.
I,
And
oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
I think this is one of the most overrated films I've ever seen.
Brutal.
Yep, I did think it was entertaining, and I thought it was visually stunning, and I thought the main actress did a great job.
The
But
Everything Bagel didn't do it for you?
I think personally, I have a different opinion on this movie. I think behind the smoke and mirrors of the fancy effects and editing and fighting, that there is a really sort of like dark social message that they were trying to push through during this film. And I think it just was really, really heavy propaganda underlying the entire thing. And I think because of all the flashiness in the film and how visually stunning it was, that is what actually makes it a really dangerous film when it came out. Because I think a lot of people are like, I love that movie. And I'm like, did you get the meaning of the movie? And they're like, oh, it's just so, a lot of people are like, oh, but it was so trippy. And I'm like, okay, something just rubbed me the wrong
Yeah.
way. Um,
I can understand that. The message is divisive.
Number 73, 35 Shots of Rum. Never heard of it.
Nope.
Get off the list. 35 Shots of Rum.
Get out of here.
72 is Ladybird by Greta Gerwig. I have
Love
seen
it.
it. You love it?
I love it. I mean, I do actually like all the Greta Gerwig movies. I don't think I like Barbie as much as I liked her other work, but I did still enjoy it. I know that's not a movie you enjoy. Lady Bird is great.
Which one?
Saoirse Ronan is just always so
Are you
wonderful.
talking about Barbie?
Um, what?
You talking about I don't like Barbie?
Yeah, you don't like Barbie.
I haven't seen Barbie. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I'm assuming, yeah. Uh, this is really good. I'd be curious to see if there's another Greta Gerwig movie later on this list. Because if this is the only one, I'm like, man, there's another one. I think Little Women also deserves to be on this list, but we'll see if it's there.
I've heard that's a great movie. Lady Bird,
It's
I
wonderful.
really liked. I'd probably give it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10, but I liked it. La Ciénaga, I have not heard of that at number 71. Get off our list. Yee Yee, I've never heard of that. Have you heard of Yee
Nope.
Yee? No, get off our list. Okay, number 69, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I believe this was the first
Yes.
animated Spider-Man film.
Dude, this movie, yeah, it absolutely deserves to be on this list. It's fantastic. Is it my favorite? We didn't get to rank the animated
We didn't
Spider-Man
rank the
movies, which is a
animated.
shame because we are a Spider-Man first podcast.
That is true.
Um,
I don't.
it,
The thing is Topher Grace in this movie? I don't think he is. So how
I
can
don't
I
think he
rank
is.
this
That's
as
true.
high?
This might be my favorite Spider-Man movie, though. It's like it is so good and it's so fun, and it deserves to be on the list too, just for like the animation style that it created, which is so unique and just it is. I think that it's one of the best representations of what a comic book can be, but turned into a movie.
I
It's
think
wonderful.
I think it's a great movie. I would love to watch it again. And I guess it's very difficult to rank an animated film along with the actual in-person films. So I'd be interested to see if we ever do a best animated films where this would land, like in the ranking of animated film. Number 68 is The Hurt Locker. Have you seen The Hurt Locker?
I have seen The Hurt Locker. It's been a little bit. It's
Same.
good. I think that Catherine Bigelow was probably bound to end up on this list at some point. And it was also really timely. I think it was like a really impactful movie for a lot of people because of when it came out during the war it was Afghanistan. I think the movie takes place in Afghanistan.
One of those stands.
So, yeah. But yeah, I think it deserves to be on this list. It's a brutal movie.
It's really good.
It does cross off like war movies as well. It's like that. Yeah, you're probably gonna end up with a few war movies on this list, and so I think that's fair. And it won best picture.
Was that Jeremy Renner? I believe was the main actor in that movie.
Oh, dude, it's been. So
I think he was, and that movie does a great job with tenseness, very tense, because he's like a bomb deactivator, like really some tense stuff. Number 67, Phantom Thread by Paul Thomas Anderson is our first Paul Thomas Anderson movie on here. I have not seen that movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen this movie either. I think that it is crossing off Paul Thomas Anderson as well as Daniel Day-Lewis, both of who deserve to be on this list. I mean, method acting. He literally became a tailor for a year. Daniel Day-Lewis did, and then he retired. Right?
Is that what this movie's? Is that what this movie's about?
No, he's playing someone totally different, but he's just a method actor.
Oh, I know that. Okay, number 66, Sin Ex Doce, New York. I don't know what that is.
No.
Okay, pass. Number 65, Oppenheimer by Chris Nolan. Your quick thoughts on Oppenheimer at 65?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think that very visually stunning. I think that it's also just Nolan's Oscar win.
It's his Oscar. It's his Oscar bait, and it's his Oscar win because I also think it's one of his most overrated films. And as far as Chris Nolan goes and what you come to expect from Chris Nolan, I think it's a movie a lot of other people could have made. But
it's better than Interstellar, though, for sure. Like I think if you're kind of comparing it to Interstellar and kind of ranking these movies, like now if frickin' that stupid other war movie that he made,
Dunkirk.
Oh my dude! If Dunkirk ends up on this list, Dunkirk I'm just gonna walk off the podcast.
Seriously,
that movie is legit. Like
not very good.
It's the middest of mids.
64 is Gone Girl by one of my top 5 directors of all time, David Fincher. I love Gone Girl.
This movie is great. This movie is fantastic.
It's so good. So the writer of this book is I've got her around here somewhere. Oh, Gillian Flynn. She has only written 3 books. This was one of them. I've read her other 2. And this movie I saw before, unfortunately, reading the book, but it was so good. I just felt no need to read the book because it's so amazing.
Yeah. This is also, I think this is Apex Mountain for, well, at least for Rosamund Pike, if not also for Ben Affleck. Like they're both they are so good in this movie. And man, all-time twist. This movie, I think about like when I think of
that's
movies,
Gillian Flynn. She is the twist
crazy.
master.
Yeah.
Number 63, Little Miss Sunshine with Steve Carell, indie dramedy. A little high on the list for me if it's gonna be on here, but it's artsy.
Who's the director of that movie?
It says Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Ferris.
Interesting. It is good. It is good. Interesting. It does have Ezra Miller in it as a guy who's like
Abigail Breslin. Like it's an interesting cast.
Yeah, I like it. I
like it too. I'm just a little shocked it doesn't hit the iconic.
Yeah, it seems high.
Number 62 is Memento by Chris Nolan. I do love this movie. I know like film critics and film buffs, like everyone kind of loves this movie. I love it. I think maybe this might be one of the movies. I'm looking at this list. I'm like, maybe this is in a sweet spot. I think 62. Yeah. I think that's really fair.
Yeah, I could have totally seen it cross into the top 50, but I think it would have been like still low 50s, but incredible. Again, third Chris Nolan movie on the list. So we may end up getting a full house
Chris
here.
Nolan, my goodness. We're
Yeah.
going to get our introduction to Quentin Tarantino at number 61 with Kill Bill Volume 1. I've never seen this beginning to end. I watched about the first half of it last year, and it's crazy Quentin Tarantino. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that this movie, because we're gonna run into some other Tarantino movies later, and I don't think it's his best work, but it's like it is a movie that is so quintessentially him, you know,
Yes.
tying back into like his love for Japanese cinema as well as his love for just like
Color and
rage.
violence and
Yeah.
like craziness.
Uh, yeah. It's again, man, it's one of those things where it's like Kill Bill is, in my mind, it is both parts. It's really hard to divide
Very
Kill Bill
interesting.
1 and Kill Bill 2.
Yeah, very
So where
interesting.
it's like, okay, does that mean Kill Bill 2 doesn't end up on this list? It's
Right.
just, I don't know. I find it's they should have ranked them both together, and I feel like it may have done them more service.
Number 60 is Whiplash. I love Whiplash.
So good.
Like, I think about Whiplash. I think it's incredible. I think number 60 is a really great spot for it. I'm really happy with that.
This movie is incredible. I feel like I watched this movie right when I was getting into it. Like I watched this movie and Birdman kind of tied together,
Artsy
and it
kind
was
of
like,
film.
yeah, kind of getting more into like the artsy films in high school. I mean, Miles Teller is trying to become the best jazz drummer in the world, and
is J.K. Simmons the best villain of all time in this movie?
J.K. Simmons is just like incredible because he's trying to tear this person apart, but the reason he's trying to do it is because he knows that Miles Teller wants to be the best, and so he knows what it takes to do that. And it's just like the whole movie is asking you the question of, do you really want to be the best? Is it really worth it?
It's a jaw-dropping movie.
Yeah. Also, that what's the name of that director? Same guy who did La La Land. Damien Chazelle.
Yes, Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, this is my favorite Damien Chazelle movie. La La Land is also great. I'm sure we'll get to La La Land, but this is my favorite.
I believe La La Land is actually not on this list, which is shocking to me because with how much people loved it. Yeah. La La Land. Tony Erdmann is at 59. Never heard of it. Pass. Nope. Uncut Gems is at 58.
Yes.
It's a great movie. I have seen it, and it is absolutely fantastic. Like, it is so good.
This movie is like, in the best way possible, I mean this as a compliment, it is 2 hours of just having your hands being covered in maple syrup and having to deal with just the existential crisis that is that stickiness. That is exactly how I feel towards Adam Sandler's character just continuing to be unable to make the right decision. It's just like, it's so grating. It's a movie, there's several movies on here where it's like, wow, that's amazing. I never ever want to watch it again because it's just like so brutal.
It's a movie I want to watch with somebody else who like hasn't seen it, because I'm like, oh, you haven't seen this? Okay, let's rewatch it because I want to rewatch it. For sure. You need a reason to rewatch it. I'm a little upset with Uncut Gems, not because of the film, but because a lot of people believe Adam Sandler actually should have won Best Actor for that film, which I agree with. And they said simply because of his roles in his other films that they didn't think were auteur enough or elevated enough that they completely disqualified him based on that, which
it was one of the most like elitist things of all time of, oh my gosh, we can't have this guy who made Waterboy win Best Actor,
which is really disgusting, because like
it is disgusting,
because also Adam Sandler is just like a great chill dude, like he's awesome. So it's just really, it's a little frustrating for me. I agree. Number 47, Best in Show. I have not seen that.
I haven't seen it either. I hear it's one of the best. I think a lot of people were telling me that when we ranked our sports movies and did our sports movie Mount Rushmore, a lot of people were like, dude, Best in Show not on here. That's crazy. Because it's a mockumentary about dog judging.
Oh, and they wanted that on the Mount Rushmore. Okay, that's why we are running the podcast and they are not. Number 56 is Punch Drunk Love by Paul Thomas Anderson. I actually have never seen this movie, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it's actually like an embarrassment to me as a film buff that my PTA knowledge is actually quite lacking. So I'm excited for when we get to One Battle After Another. We're going to have quite a marathon. I haven't seen this movie.
Number 55 is Inception. This is my maybe This is probably my favorite Christopher Nolan film. It's probably tied for my favorite film of all time. I've probably seen it at least a dozen times.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm insulted by where this film is. I'm
Yeah.
glad it's on the list, but I think this is Christopher Nolan at the absolute peak of his career. I think this is, you could go between this and The Dark Knight, two very different movies, as for me, a
Yeah.
coin flip of which is better.
Yeah. This movie also totally just changed. It's another one of those inflection points in cinema to
Yeah.
where everyone saw Inception the same way everyone went and saw
The Dark Knight.
Endgame and Dark Knight, and it just changed how people understand movies. This movie is incredible. It absolutely deserves to be in the top 50. I am more partial towards what's his magician movie?
The Prestige.
Yes, I am partial towards The Prestige over this movie. But this movie, it's a top 30 movie. Just again, like the not having any sort of index for like how iconic a movie is kind of frustrating.
Yeah. I love The Prestige too. So 54 is Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro. So he makes the list here. I like this movie. I think it's always a little overrated on every list I ever seen. And I think it's tough because like I'm a big horror fan. So this will pop up on a bunch of horror lists as like one of the best horror movies. I don't really find it very scary.
It's not.
It's sort
It's
of a weird
definitely-
dark fantasy, but
It's
yeah.
it's horror in the sense of like original Grimm's fairy tales are
Yeah.
kind of horrific,
Right.
where the guy with the hand and
Right.
But I do think that this movie is also, there are very, very few movies, like in terms of foreign speaking films, most like this movie is all in Spanish. It takes place during the fascist occupation from Franco in Spain, and this little girl is trying to escape the trauma of the what is going on around her, and she
Yes.
escapes into this fantastical Grimm's fairy tale
I'll
world.
say this, and it's not going to be on this list, but Guillermo del Toro has another film called The Orphanage that is also a foreign film, and it's a horror film, and I think it's his best work. And so, but it doesn't have the historic tie-in like this one does. So, okay. Number 43 is Borat, which is honestly like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Dude.
So
I rewatched Borat recently with my dad. We're just like
It's so
over
funny.
there sipping gin and tonics,
Yeah.
just laughing our butts off at how crazy this movie is. This movie absolutely, this is a great place, I think,
I
for
agree.
it,
I agree.
because it's not necessarily like the way that they made this movie is actually like the craziest part about the movie, where dude, I can never
Sacha
remember
Baron
this dude's name.
Cohen?
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen. He literally pretended to be this dude from Kazakhstan or Kurdistan,
Kazakhstan.
again, one of the stands.
Yeah.
And he literally just tricks random normies into like having these crazy experiences with him.
It's revolutionary in so many ways, and I'll never forget when
Yeah.
it came out, sneaking into a theater to watch it with a friend because and the theater was packed and like everyone was going to see this movie. So Borat, so glad it's on here. The Favorite,
so-
I didn't see it. I heard it was really dark.
Yeah, definitely needed to get Yorgos Lanthimos on this list. I think that we'll probably run into him a few more times. I have not seen this movie. I hear it's great. This movie won Emma Stone another Oscar, so she's obviously always cooking. She was actually pregnant during the movie, which is kind of interesting.
Wow.
But I haven't seen it.
Okay. Next, 12 Years a Slave. I skipped that one. Just seemed like a really long Oscar bait to me. Sorry.
I also haven't seen it, and more just because I just hear it's a very heavy movie. I've read snippets of the book from multiple classes in college, and it's harrowing. And so I think that I understand why this movie is on here. It explains a lot about life in the South, life for slaves. Like a slave movie was going to be on this list.
Yeah.
I think that from my understanding of it, this is a good ad.
Okay. Number 50 is Up. Pixar. Obviously, it's a top three Pixar film for me. And
Yeah.
I think it has the best like intro or like of any one of the best intros in all of filmmaking with the love story. So Up, I'm glad to see it on here.
Yeah, 50 seems right. It like now we're starting to get into our iconic
I like
films, and yeah, it's good.
We're 40 minutes into the pod and we're halfway through the list. How we feeling?
We're doing all. I'm loving this. This
I
is
think
so
it's great.
fun.
I think it's great. I hope people are enjoying it. Number 49 is Before Sunset. So this is an amazing movie. Have you seen this?
No, I've heard actually recently some really good stuff about it. Like
So it's a
this, the
trilogy, and
yeah, the three
this is
movies.
the second film in the trilogy. The first, oh, man, it's interesting they have this on here, but not the original Before Sunrise. I think Before Sunrise is my favorite. I think Before Sunset's actually really short, I believe. I think it's like an hour and 20 minutes. Like, you might have to fact check me on that, but it was an incredible follow-up. The whole trilogy is amazing. Really great to see it on here. It's shot with the same actors and actresses, and they age in time as they do in the film. So like it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So love that. Next is The Lives of Others. I've never heard of that.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, get off the list. 47 is Almost Famous. I'm glad this is on here. It's a great movie, great musical movie, like one of the best.
Yeah, it deserves to be on here. I think I I don't know if I quite have like the same love for musicals as other people. Like I love seeing musicals live, but a musical movie is kind of a hit or miss.
So it's not have you seen Almost Famous?
No.
Okay, it's not a musical, but it's a movie about it's like when rock was like at its peak and it follows a fictional band, and it's like a kid who's trying to become like a journalist, and he follows this band that's trying to break through and become a popular band. And
Is the band called Drive Shaft?
no, but that's hilarious. The band is called Stillwater, I believe, but it's honestly, me and Lauren watched it a year ago. It's fantastic. She loved it, so glad to see it on here.
Wow.
Roma at 48, never heard of it. Oh, it's Alfonso Cuarón. Maybe you've watched it.
Yeah. This movie, I think, also won Best Picture. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I would have it. I think we'll probably see more Alfonso Cuarón, so I think that's fair. It's black and white. I'm having like a really hard time remembering much about the movie.
Couldn't have been that good.
Yeah.
Number 45 is Moneyball. We know our old guest host is Josh is going to enjoy that. Moneyball, I think, totally deserves to be on here. Even though I wouldn't have it on my Mount Rushmore of sports movies, I think it's probably the best movie we talked about on our Mount Rushmore of sports movies, and I'm really glad it's on here.
Agreed.
Number 44. Ooh, I'm interested to get your opinion on this. This is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. What are your thoughts on that film? Quick thoughts.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a top 50 movie. Like, I do enjoy it. I think that it's really good. I think, again, this is like a really fun period piece from Quentin Tarantino. He does it so well. Seeing Brad Pitt and
Leo
in the same movies is really, really fun. Pitt playing I mean, he's playing Harrison Ford, right? Like he's supposed to be Harrison Ford, kind of like starting off as a scaffolding guy and then just like getting recognized for how charming he is. And great movie. But I struggle to have it in the top 50. I
think it is, again, one of the more overrated films I've ever seen. And I'll say this, this is very Tarantino to me, where there are scenes in the movie that are like 12 out of 10. Like, they're just amazing and you're hooked in, but you're also like, this is so random and it's going on for so long. And like, sometimes just for me, his movies, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so long, or what's happening? It's just like, doesn't always like hit. And the love I've seen for this movie from like film critics has just been like way too high for me. Like, people are like, it's the best Quentin Tarantino movie, one of the best movies ever made. I'm always just like, interesting. But it has some awesome stuff in it. Old Boy,
Park Chan-wook.
Okay, I haven't seen the original, but I saw the American remake. It was actually a really good, shocking movie. The ending was alarming. It was, I do think about it. I think about this film from time to time. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Josh Brolin is in the remake, and I'll just say, wow. It's just what is that tinking in the background?
I don't know.
Do you hear it tinking?
Slightly, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was something. I don't know what that is. It sounds like a cymbal. Someone's playing a cymbal in the background. You know what? I'll ask our producer. He'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Number 42 is The Master by Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm starting to think I don't love Paul Thomas Anderson. The Master is one of the longest, most boring movies I've ever watched, regardless of how great the performances were in it. It's so long. Oh my gosh, it's so boring. So get it out of here. I don't like it.
Again, PTA unfortunately is a big hole for me, so I haven't seen it.
Well, you're lucky. Number 41 is Amelie, a movie we didn't mention on our Mount Rushmore of best rom-coms. I've seen it once. It's fantastic. Foreign French rom-com. Number 40 is The Pianist. I have not seen it.
I also haven't seen it. I hear it's one of those movies that's very overrated. I think it was like a huge Oscar bait movie.
Okay.
Did we skip
Adrian
Boyhood?
Brody? I don't see it on my list yet, but I know it's on here.
Okay.
Okay.
We can keep going.
39 is The Departed by Martin Scorsese. This is one of my all-time favorite films. This is like 9.5 out of 10 for me if I'm ranking it. And
Agreed.
I just love this movie. It is like top 3 Martin Scorsese movies for me.
Easy. Yeah, I'm with you there. This is a great spot for it. I feel like 39 is good.
I agree.
As long as we see more of Marty down this list, which I'm sure we will.
Okay, yeah, great spot. Here we go, Kenny. Number 38, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, I would obviously have it higher, but again, it's in the top 50. I can be happy with that.
They are ranked accordingly by Oscars, so it would seem.
Yeah. I mean, what, 16 Oscars go, or 13 Oscars, something like that, goes to Return of the King. Incredible movie.
It almost got knocked off. Its record almost got knocked off by Emilia Perez.
Yeah, I mean, nominations-wise, for sure. Wow, we're living in the dumbest timeline. Okay, next movie.
Next movie is Drive with Ryan Gosling at 37. That is shockingly high for me. I think this movie is wildly overrated in my opinion. People talk about this movie as it's like the most auteur like thriller like movie ever with Bryan Cranston and Ryan Gosling, and I think it's a really good movie. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10, but like 37 is crazy to me.
I agree. It's one of those movies where it's like, how the heck did you get here? Is it just because everyone loves Ryan Gosling? Like, I'm not offended that it's on the list. I'm not offended that it's on the top 100 list necessarily.
Put it at 90.
Yeah, it feels like one of those.
City of God at 36, I haven't seen.
I haven't seen it either, unfortunately.
Okay. Amor at 35, haven't seen. Nope. A Serious Man, it's a Coen Brothers movie. I have not seen that at 34. No,
I haven't seen it either.
I have heard of that one. I just have not seen it. Shrek, the original Shrek, comes in at 33. How do you feel about that?
Dude, yeah. It's great. I mean, it set the tone for the future of animated movies where it's like, hey, animated movies can be for the adults too, you know? And that is what we've been writing for the past 20 years. Shrek is incredible. It is so funny. It also is just like, yeah, you can't have a movie talking about the first 25 years of the 2000s and not have Shrek on this list. I think that it's properly placed.
That's a great call. Shrek, I'll never forget. I saw it opening night. A friend came to me. He was like, I have an extra ticket to Shrek. Do you want to see it? And I was like, sure. And I'll never forget seeing it. And it's an amazing movie. And I don't really care for any of the sequels, but I think the first one is like 10 out of 10.
Shrek 2 is fine. Yeah, I like Shrek 2.
Okay. 32, Knives Out by Ryan Johnson.
100%. I'm in. I'm there for it.
I know you love Ryan Johnson. I love Knives Out. I think it's great. I know he made it as an ode to Agatha Christie, who's my basically tied for my favorite writer of all time. She's my favorite female writer of all time. I've read like a million of her books. I think Knives Out is amazing. He also has another movie I'm a little shocked is not on here, which might be my favorite movie by him, called Brick. It's how he got famous. It's an indie film, and it's also a mystery noir film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt when he's really young, and it's amazing. But so glad to see
It's
Knives Out
also a
on here.
real shame that we have not come across Last Jedi so far. Last Jedi is definitely a top 100 movie, and I'm
Very,
not even being sarcastic.
that's
It's my favorite Star Wars movie. It just is. It's the best.
okay.
So
Before we go and rank the Star Wars movies, we are gonna have to rewatch the Star Wars movies because you have some sort of sick, disgusting recency bias going on here. So, because
dude,
the
it's
Last
not recency
Jedi,
bias because I saw Tross and I was like, I laughed out loud at the Return of Skywalker. That's how just devastatingly terrible it was.
Kenny, the Last Jedi is the worst Star Wars movie.
It's because you just don't understand. You don't have an open mind towards it, Sam.
Oh, I don't have an open mind.
I don't know
We have
how I
one
don't know
ship
how to
chasing
describe
another
to
ship.
someone who's
But
less evolved how much better of a movie this is.
if we review that movie, I'm gonna point out 20 of the biggest plot holes you've ever seen, and you're gonna sit there and be like, "I never thought of it like that before," and I'm gonna be like, "Dude, I can't even right now."
Yeah.
Number 31 is Zodiac by David Fincher. I really like Zodiac. It is fantastic.
This isn't our first Fincher movie on the list, is
No,
it?
Gone Girl was
Gone
on
Girl,
the
yeah,
list.
okay.
I would put Gone Girl
Yeah.
above this movie. Actually, I think if you just swapped Gone Girl and Zodiac on this list,
Yeah.
it'd be good with me. Because Zodiac's great, but I don't think it's Gone Girl level.
Yeah, agreed. I'm with you.
30 is The Irishman. Kill Me Now. This
Never
is
saw it. It was
so
too long.
long and so boring, and it's just Martin Scorsese making like the worst version, it feels like, of a mobster movie, and he's made so many of them, and he's just like, I'm gonna make one more, and it just felt like, dude, we've seen this like 3, 4, 5 times now, and this was the worst version of it. So like,
Yeah.
totally overrated in my opinion. Look at that. Number 29 is The Royal Tenenbaums by Wes Anderson. That is actually alarmingly high for me.
That's crazy
and I
high.
love The Royal Tenenbaums, right? Like I think I have it as my it was my fourth or fifth favorite Wes Anderson movie. Like I could see Royal Tenenbaums on this list in like the 90s or the 80s, but
Yeah.
like 29 is crazy high to me.
Yeah, there's like a weird, and maybe it's just because I didn't watch it when everyone was super high on it. Because I do like when people talk about Wes Anderson, they do talk about Royal Tenenbaums, but I think I must have just like missed the train on it because it's just like, yeah, I don't even know if I would have it in the top 100.
Like
it's just so
like
far
every
from me.
Wes Anderson film, like I've seen it multiple times. I've probably seen it 3 or 4 times. Like I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10, but like, oof, man, that's high. Boyhood at 28, probably one of the most one of the most uniquely filmed films. It
A
took
movie
like,
made over what 18 years
Yeah,
or something like that of the
I
same
think it was
actors.
like 15 or 18 years or something like that. But
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the best coming of age films I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, it's great. I think they deserve to be on the list purely by like the dedication of
did,
everyone involved to make it.
Also, it's like a 3-hour movie or something, but it goes by in the blink of an eye. It's really well done.
Yeah.
Number 27, Killers of the Flower Moon by Martin Scorsese. I actually haven't seen this yet.
haven't
It looked
either.
long and historical, and I just like wasn't feeling it. But I've heard it's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, so I can't judge it too much.
Feels high
I have a
though for
hard time.
Scorsese.
Yeah, considering that we had The Departed like almost 15 picks ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. Number 26 is Ratatouille.
Oh heck yeah, dude!
Yeah.
I love like Ratatouille might be my favorite Pixar movie. I love it, and I do think that that's probably not a common take. Like I can totally understand people putting a Toy Story there or a Nemo there or an Up there. I totally understand it, but man, Ratatouille is just like so fun, and like I watched it kind of as I was coming out of childhood, and I feel like it just cemented that chapter in my life to where it's just like everything moving forward is kind of like adulthood, and then there's Ratatouille, and it's so good.
Yeah, definitely top 5 Pixar for me. Right above it is The Incredibles. So really interesting. We have 2 back-to-back Pixar films. The Incredibles to me is the most overrated Pixar film. I don't love The Incredibles. I think it's good, not great. I'm a little shocked at how much people have loved The Incredibles for how long. But
Yeah.
that's just me. I know I'm an outlier there. So
I love The Incredibles. I think it deserves to be on this list for sure, and it definitely deserves to be in the top 50. I mean, it was arguably the best super, well, with the exception of maybe a Michael Keaton Batman and maybe a George Reeves Superman. It was like one of the best superhero movies that had come out in years.
interesting.
So good.
Um, E Tu Mama Tambien by Alfonso Cuarón. I have not seen, but Cuarón
Nope.
makes another appearance. Her by Spike Jonze. I have not seen this. I've been avoiding this movie for a long time. So
Are we on number 4? Is it 14?
this is 23. This is number 23.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no. Just I haven't seen it either, but it's literally Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with an AI voiced by Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
You tell me if that movie deserves to be in the top 50. So
Number 22, another Pixar film, Inside Out. Another, to me, massively overrated Pixar film. I was shocked at how much people liked this movie. I was like, I thought it was like the joke about Pixar is like, just pick anything and give it feelings and we'll make a movie out of it. And this was sort of a meme where it was like, what if feelings had feelings? And that's what Inside Out is. And it's like, you know what? It is unique, but I just like, I don't know. It wasn't like, I didn't love it. It's probably on the bottom, near the bottom of my Pixar list, but I'm a little shocked it's a 22.
it shouldn't be higher than Incredibles or Ratatouille, in my personal opinion, but it is. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful, and I do think that it, in terms of the quality, like every so often Pixar will miss. This is not one of those times.
Are you referencing Elio?
I haven't seen it.
Oh. It had the worst opening for a Pixar film ever, and I read something today that said they had to edit the film and change so much of it because after they did the original screening of it with the test audience and they asked if anyone would go to pay money to see it, not a single person raised their hand, and they changed a ton of apparently the character in that version was like they were making them like really LGBTQ and I don't know. It was a whole thing and they've rewritten and cut it up a million ways. And anyways, it is what it is. Number 21, Pixar again, Wall-E. This is maybe, if I'm being pretentious, the best Pixar film. I think this is probably, it's a beautiful film. It's more, it's the for Pixar, it's like the biggest, like take a step back. It's a large scope, very little dialogue, right? It's sort of a love story of robots and humanity, trying to survive extinction to an extent. I think it's a beautiful movie, but like, it's probably one of the last Pixar films I'm throwing on for a rewatch typically. So
yeah, I don't think it's the best Pixar movie. I think this is the last Pixar movie we come across. Again, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not gonna scoff at Wall-E. Wall-E is wonderful. Like Wall-E is great. Maybe Wall-E deserves to be on this movie. Like it's good to see that there's a lot of Pixar movies on this list. Like that's what you would expect. That's what you would hope. These are some of the best movies that have truly come out in the past 25 years. I don't think that that's anything to say. Do I think that it's better than Ratatouille or Incredibles or Finding Nemo? I don't think so.
Okay, we're cracking the top 20 here. Lost in Translation. This has Bill Murray and Black Widow in it. Whatever her name is, I forget. We just
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. I saw this movie a couple years ago. Having this ranked at 20 is wild to me. I could see this movie maybe not even on the top 100, maybe 90 in that range. But that's really high to me.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, it's just kind of like a drama in like kind of a drama romance in Japan. It's interesting, or somewhere over there. Number 19 is the Grand Budapest Hotel. Like I said, when we did our review of Wes Anderson, I feel like this is most people's consensus favorite film. You know, a lot of it has to do with the name. And so I think this might be the last Wes Anderson film on here, which is disappointing to me because Moonrise Kingdom is my favorite. But it is what it is.
I think there's a few snubs. I think also Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I was gonna say, where's Fantastic Mr. Fox? Like, where's Moonrise Kingdom? There's a few on here where I'm like, And
Yeah.
Wes Anderson maybe deserved a little more love, perhaps.
Yeah, I think people are just kind of down on him right now. It's like what we
Yeah, I think
talked about
you're.
during the
I
pod,
think
right?
you're
Where it's
right.
just people are like, oh, maybe we don't like Wes Anderson as much. I was like,
Well,
people
you
have
know
short
what?
memories,
They can
me
suck
included.
it. Children of Men at 18. Have you seen Children of Men?
I haven't. Have you?
I have. It is. I don't know how it's this high on this list. It's pretty wild. It's an interesting movie. Alfonso
Also,
Cuarón
Alfonso
again. My
Cuarón. Yeah.
goodness, 4 films already on here. It's really long. I think it's overrated, but it's interesting. It's basically like the entire world. Women are no longer becoming pregnant, and the whole world's like imploding basically because the Earth isn't repopulating, and like it's basically like what would happen, and they find like one girl who's apparently pregnant, and what happens to this girl. It's like it's her journey basically as people basically vie over her as a commodity or try to kill her. There's a lot going on with it.
Yeah.
Interesting movie. 17 Inglourious Bastards by Quentin Tarantino. This is my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. I love to see it here at 17. So that's a great spot for it.
Perfect spot. I agree.
Yeah.
It's also my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie.
The Tree of Life is at 16. I have not seen that.
Me neither.
Okay. 15, your favorite movie, Kenny, Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, love it. Glad to see it here. Haven't seen it.
I love Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal, but surprisingly, I have not watched this movie.
Yeah, you don't ship them?
Yeah, this one I had to skip. Another gay movie as number 14, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Did you see that one?
I didn't.
Nope, skip that one
We're
as
the
well.
potentially wrong audience for some of these.
Yeah, we're yeah. Whoops. The Social Network at 13 by David Fincher. Again, one of my top 5 directors. So glad it is on here. Social Network is amazing. I could watch this movie again and again and again. It's so good. And apparently they're coming out with a sequel.
Yeah. It sounds like Fincher is not attached to it though, which is kind of, it's just Aaron Sorkin. And so
I don't know. David Fincher, he
was needed. I think that he needed to be a part of the movie.
I agree. This
movie is great, and this movie is also like, if you're thinking of if you're thinking of this as a time capsule, Social Network is,
you're so right,
perfect to the tech capitalism world that we live in and the social media world that we live in. This is probably the most informative, like when we look back in 100 years, people are going to be talking about how the first 25 years of the 2000s, like, go watch The Social Network and you'll have a good gist of what's happening.
Absolutely. Number 12, we got another Martin Scorsese film, The Wolf of Wall Street. I believe this is the last one of his on this list, and I love The Wolf of Wall Street. I've probably seen this movie like, I don't know, 4 times, and it's I could watch it like once every couple of years because it's that entertaining. I think this is like peak Martin Scorsese. It's just like he mixes it's just when he does movies, oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, just sex, drugs, and money is
and
right.
Launched Margot Robbie's career too.
Yeah, for sure.
Mad Max Fury Road at number 11. This movie to me is a 10 out of 10. I know I have very few 10 out of 10 films. I believe I've seen this movie 3 times, and it's perfect. It's perfect from beginning to end. I can't find anything wrong with it, and I am always hooked from the second the opening shot opens to the end.
I don't even think I'm being that bold necessarily in saying that I think that this is the best action movie ever.
Wow.
At least of obviously the last 25 years, but this movie there's nothing else like Mad Max Fury Road. Unfortunately, Furiosa didn't quite live up to this hype, but I mean, you got George Miller, who, when he directed this, I mean, he's in his 90s now. He was like late 70s when he made this movie. This like grandpa just made the most like kick-ass movie of all time. Just
so true.
It's like spraying chrome on his mouth and like kamikazeing stuff, driving across like the outback in a post-apocalyptic hellscape.
It's amazing.
This movie is just insane.
It's so good.
Like, talk about another movie that if you were to bring it up at a party, some dude would be like, I freaking love Mad Max Fury Road, dude. It's so sick.
I can talk about Mad Max forever. It's too good. Number 10 is Spirited Away, the only Miyazaki film on here. Spirited Away, I've only seen once, and I've seen like probably 5 or 6 Miyazaki films, but Spirited Away is amazing. It's so good that it is so far over my head when I'm watching it. And even when I'm looking back on it, like I remember watching, I was like, that was really good. That was really weird. And I met someone who was Japanese not long after, and she was like, oh, did you know that this and this and this was all symbolism in the film? And she was like telling me all about it. And I was like, nope. And I was like, it's amazing.
Miyazaki only being on this list once is crazy.
It's a little shocking. Yeah, that's a little surprising. Number 9, consensus, like best superhero film, and to a lot of people, the best film of all time, The Dark Knight by Christopher Nolan. Totally deserving, like I said, but between this and Inception, those two are my favorite. I think The Dark Knight, I'll never forget seeing it opening night in LA, like or in California, and literally to put in perspective what has happened to movies, this movie was such a big deal. I was at one of the sickest theaters I've ever been to, like 2 stories, like massive movie theater in California, and just to see. I'm getting there to see the opening, like 12 o'clock midnight showing. And there is a line, and you know how big movie theaters are, right? There's a line wrapped all the way around the movie theater twice, just waiting for the first screening of this. And people are like trying to pile in, like that's how big of a movie this was.
Yeah, it's a top 10 movie. I think that like some of these movies, like maybe like what the heck, but like we're getting to the top 10 where it's like these can be very easily like undisputed. Like these are the best.
They're hitting these. Now, talk about maybe something that could be disputed is Jordan Peele's Get Out at number 8.
Seems high. It's the only. Is this the only? I guess maybe Pan's Labyrinth, but even then it's not that scary. Is Get Out like the only like horror movie on this list?
It seems like it. I really like It Out. I know a lot of people don't like It Out. A lot of people say it's overrated. I really
like this movie.
I also really, really like this movie. Like I would probably give Get Out like a 9 out of 10. Like I think Get Out is actually fantastic. I actually really love Us as well. I think I might secretly like it more than Get Out. But I think Get Out is more culturally relevant, and Get Out's a great movie. I'm just a little shocked it's at 8, but still awesome movie.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that's like, top 25, top 50, I could see it. Top 10 is kind of like, man, when I think of the movies from the 2000s, I don't know if I'm necessarily thinking about Get Out. Again, not at all a knock on that movie. It's wonderful. Its message is actually still very poignant.
Yeah.
You know, all this time later.
Number 7 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Really, really unique film. I've met multiple people who have said this is their favorite film of all time. Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet, I believe, in like, was it Kate Winslet? Yeah. And it was, it's one of the trippiest movies you'll ever see. It is sort of a sci-fi romance, you could call it. And it's really great.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
You haven't seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
I know. This podcast is really exposing kind of like maybe how much of a potential normie I am.
You need to go light up a doobie, and you need to go watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind because
let me go grab all the doobies that
grab all your doobies. Okay, number 6 is a Coen Brothers movie again, No Country for Old Men. With I believe Javier Bardem, is that correct? Who plays the
Javier Bardem and Josh Brolin.
This movie, people love this movie in film circles. I think really dark. It's a really, really, really dark movie. So like I think that's one of the reasons I don't love it, and that's just personal preference. Like there's just some dark stuff in it with Javier Bardem's character, like as dark as you can imagine, where it just holds it back for me. But that's just personal preference.
This movie, I do think, is fantastic. You're right, it is super dark. I'm surprised that we have not come across more Coen movies. Like we haven't seen Fargo, we haven't seen Inside Llewyn Davis, we haven't seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou. There's
get those all off the list.
You don't like them?
I just don't know if they belong in the top 100.
Yeah, I
This is
am very
second.
partial
They
towards
made it
Inside Llewyn
twice though.
Davis.
They made it twice. It's not bad.
What was the other one?
I don't know, but they were on this list one more time. I just can't remember.
Okay.
Number 5, so cracking top 5 is Moonlight, gay black movie. I skipped this one.
Yeah. I also didn't see this movie. Its whole thing was that there was the whole fiasco about the wrong movie being announced at the Oscar for Best Picture, and Moonlight was part of that.
And Moonlight won, correct?
I believe Moonlight.
I believe it did.
I get them confused.
Number 4, In the Mood for Love. I've never heard of it. Kind of shocked where that is. Paul Thomas Anderson, There Will Be Blood at number 3. How do you feel about this?
Haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh.
I know, dude.
This man is telling me The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie, and that Mickey 17 is the best Bong Joon-ho movie. Hasn't seen There Will Be Blood. Too quintessential to not see. It is. Here's what I'll say about There Will Be Blood. Hella long, like 3 hours, like way too long. Really good. Paul Dano and who's the other guy? From Gangs of New York, who method acts and everything.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Those two are just incredible in this movie. Like Daniel Day-Lewis is just like next level. I don't love this movie as much as other people do, but it is like the great dark American epic. There's a lot of messaging behind this film, but it's just really long. Like I never want to rewatch it. And there's really iconic like scenes and takeaways and memes from this movie, but it's just so long I don't want to rewatch it, which like to me, I'm like, that hurts it for me. And so seeing it at 3, I'm like, ooh, that's tough.
Top 10 needs to be kind of a rewatchable thing.
Exactly.
For the most part.
Mulholland Drive by David Lynch. I have not seen that.
Me neither.
Wow. Okay. And number 1, the greatest movie, according to this list of 500 actors, directors, producers, whatever, in Hollywood, the greatest movie of the last 25 years is Bong Joon-ho's Parasite.
Top 10 movie. I think that, I don't know. Like, again, we had the Bong Joon-ho podcast. I walked away feeling like, we're going to get into a few snubs here. Mother is not on this list. I do think Mother and maybe Memories of Murder could be debated maybe more than this. But again, this is not a movie that a lot of people have seen.
I think it's fair that Mother's not on this list, but I think even though I thought Mother was incredible and it has stuck with me, I mean, I guess I could see Mother on this list. Like, get Lost in Translation out of here. Throw Mother at 20. I think Parasite is so freaking good. The only reason I haven't rewatched it is I saw it in theaters, but the only reason I haven't rewatched it is just like it's heavy, it's foreign. Again, when we're talking about rewatchability, but as far as like cinematography, filming, storytelling, like surprises, like it's up there. It really is for me.
It is also, in some sense, if we're thinking of this again, going back to the time capsule idea, I do think Parasite has something to say about the 21st century as well, in terms of just unbridled ambition. There's quite a few movies on this list that are like that. This one just shows how much ambition can corrupt and how that can change people. And so I think that I can understand it there too. Like it does provide some sort of microcosm for the first quarter century.
I think for me, and we talked about this in the Bong Joon-ho podcast, but like Parasite's like my second favorite film by him. Snowpiercer's my first. I think Snowpiercer's like, hey, if we want to, like, Parasite is super artsy and like focused on like, I don't know, it's just artsy and foreign. If you want like, if you're like, I had a friend who was like, oh, I was recommending Bong Joon-ho. He's like, he turned on Parasite and turned it right off. He's like, I don't watch foreign films. And I was like, okay. Right. And I was like, you know what? You don't like Parasite? Go watch Snowpiercer, because it's going to be a high octane Americanized version of it. So yeah, I wish Snowpiercer was on here, but I understand why it's not. So yeah, that's a review of the top 100 movies. Is there anything for you, Kenny? Just, I know we didn't. This is pretty off the cuff, but is there anything that you wish were on this top 100 list that is not on this list?
Yeah, I think that like kind of looking at it now as a whole, I think a lot of the picks are actually pretty respectable. I think the order is definitely like something that we could probably debate on, and there's a few movies that we could probably throw out. Um, I do think that like I was thinking of movies that I was really hoping to see on here. I was really hoping to see um Martin Scorsese's movie about Jesuit monks. Gosh dang it,
Ah,
dude, what's the name
Shutter
of that?
Island. Are you talking about Silence?
Silence,
Hmm.
yes.
I didn't
I
see
was
that
really
movie. It
hoping
looked
Silence would be
too
on there. That movie
depressing.
is incredible as like it's a really impactful movie when it comes to like the like faith in the obstacles that faith can bump up into. And so I really enjoy Silence quite a lot. I don't think we really got nearly enough Denis Villeneuve on this list. Like
I was gonna,
I'll say it. We didn't get
Kenny, I was gonna
Enemy.
ask you about that. That
Yeah.
Dune and Dune Part Two. Neither of them were on here, just so you know.
Yeah. I mean, I love Dune and Dune Part 2. I think that I can understand how someone like this list clearly like steers a little bit away from IP, so I kind of understand that not being on there, but I'm like, okay, Enemies isn't on this list. Was Arrival on this list?
No,
Yeah. There's just some of these movies I'm like, man, or I maybe Blade Runner 2049 is something that might be a hot take. I adore Blade Runner
oh wow,
2049. It
you
was my
adore
favorite
it.
movie. It was my favorite movie the year that it came out. It came out on my birthday, I think, in 2017. Incredible as my birthday movie. I loved it. Yeah, but I feel like we got a lot of snubs from our guy Denny.
I'm
We got a
gonna.
lot. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say Dune for me, not on this list. I'm not as high on Dune. I like both the Dune movies. I'd give him like I could see him. I could see one of them being on this list because they're
Hmm.
so different and visually stunning. They're not like
Yeah,
fully my cup of tea, but I still I don't want to rewatch them, but I like them. So I can see that. Snub for me, huge snub for me is Ex Machina. Did you ever see
yeah.
that film?
Dude, there's not a single Alex Garland movie on this list, which is also crazy. Ex Machina is definitely his best. I would
I think
agree.
that's his best film, and
Yeah,
I think it's the only one that probably belongs on the top 100 list. But like
yeah,
I think it's like we're not even talking top 100. We're probably talking like top 50 with Ex Machina.
yeah.
Like that's how good it
Oh,
is.
in another 10 years or in another 5 years that they do for the first 30 years because of just like the emergence of AI, we will be talking about Ex Machina
Hmm.
as a top 50 movie of the first 30 years. Like I just think that it's inevitable. It's yeah, not having Alex Garland on here is crazy. It was strange that there wasn't more Greta Gerwig on this list. I think we got Lady Bird, and I do adore Lady Bird. I think that it's one of my favorite coming of age stories.
Okay.
I think it also handles grief in a really interesting way. There's a line in the movie where Saoirse Ronan says, "Sure, my life may not be ending, but I'm still allowed to be sad," and it's kind of saying like, "Hey, there is something to be said about like the melancholy of everyday life that you can still recognize your own privileges without having to like dismiss them entirely. And I
Yeah.
think that that's really really good, but not having Little Women on there, which is my personal favorite Greta Gerwig movie, um, I was a little bit bummed about that. We It is interesting. I think it's probably okay that we didn't get a Star Wars movie. I still would have put Last Jedi on there just because
Kenny,
of its
it's the
iconic
worst
sense.
take I've ever heard.
Then it's
Is
just yeah,
literally it's
it's
the
not the worst
worst take
take.
I've ever heard. I've never
I don't even
the
know how to like speak down to you enough
bro,
to clarify
clearly this list
how like
agrees with me. Like there's no way any of the new Star Wars films belong anywhere near the top 100 films of the last 25 years. Like the originals, like everyone would argue either Star Wars or episode 4 or episode 5
yeah,
are interchangeably the best films.
yeah,
I can't even argue it. It's too. I agree. Like I think I've
yeah,
seen them all. I've seen them all a million times. Like I've seen Last Jedi like 4 or 5 times, trying to convince myself it was good. And I hated it more and more every time I watched it. But like none
right.
of the new Star Wars films deserve to be on this. Like I'm sorry, they
Yeah.
just don't. I'm
Did we
looking
get a
at.
single? We got. Did we get a single Steven Soderbergh movie on this list?
No, that's
Yeah.
disgusting in my
Not
opinion. Like
having like not
no
having a
Ocean's
traffic or
11.
an air. Yeah, not having Ocean's 11 on this list is like it's just a clear miss.
That's a big miss. I'm looking at other snubs. Snowpiercer I'm seeing on this list as a snub. People are like shocked it's not on there. I'm seeing Hereditary by Ari Aster.
Yeah, there's not actually any Ari Aster movies also on the list, which is strange.
I
Like
believe I've
that
seen
Midsummer.
Midsummer should not be on this list. Hereditary deserves to be on this list. It's crazy dark, but it is
Yeah.
probably the
As a
quintessential
whole,
great horror film of the
yeah.
last 10 years.
In general, I'm not a horror fan, but I do think that horror is probably slightly misrepresented, like is underrepresented on this list. We got one movie. We got because again, I'm with you. I don't think Pan's Labyrinth it's dark and it's twisted. I don't think it's really scary. And Get Out is definitely has some really scary parts. So I think it does qualify as a horror movie, but it's pretty underrepresented overall.
So is comedy and so is rom-com. Like there was nothing on there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even you could argue
Yeah.
like coming of age, like one of my 10 out of 10 favorite movies, you could argue is a coming of age film or a comedy movie or both is Napoleon Dynamite. Like how iconic
Yep.
is that movie? That's not on the list. I was shocked The Big Short wasn't on this list. It's one of my favorite movies. I've probably seen
Yeah.
it like 4 or 5 times. It's an amazing movie. Casino Royale not on the list on a single James Bond movie. Like Casino Royale, like changed filmmaking, like as far as the action genre goes, and just elevated it to like a level we'd never ever seen before. It's one of my favorite movies. So shocked
Yeah.
Casino Royale wasn't on here. Mystic River wasn't on here. We didn't see a Clint Eastwood film on here, which was a little
That is
shocking.
also very strange. Yeah.
So anyways, just throwing out some of the just a few movies I was a little bit
Yeah.
shocked about that weren't on there.
Yeah. Again, it's the nature of making a list like this of like it's just an impossible task.
Yeah.
I think that we can like I love the Coen brothers. I don't think that they are I know that you feel probably differently about it, probably not as well represented. We didn't get a single uh Edgar Wright movie on this list. We didn't get Hot Fuzz, we didn't get Shaun of the Dead, we
Yeah,
didn't get
I'm good with those not
like
being on there. I'm not as into those.
I really adore those movies, so I was kind of bummed to not see those on there as well.
Top 100 is tough though. Top 100 is tough for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, La La Land we mentioned. That was a shock
Mhm.
for me. I'm shocked that wasn't on there. Like you mentioned,
Hey Sam,
the Prestige
can
should have
I
been there too.
I need to run to the restroom so bad. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
I'll just keep talking real quick. I mean, we're about to end the podcast anyways, but I'll just say Nightcrawler not on the film. Where's Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal? Amazing. I'm sad that wasn't on there. The Nice Guys. I know a lot of people love that movie. That did not make it. I'm okay with it not making it. But anyways, we'll wrap up the podcast. I hope you guys liked it. Let us know what you think. What was good? What was bad? What was missing? What was wrong with this list? And remember to sub, comment, like, share. Thanks so much. You guys have a great day.